Hi, I'm going to explain about soil texture as well as the concept of the specific surface area. This is a part of chapter 2 of our course on groundwater hydrology. So soil texture is defined by size distribution and mass fractions of the particles, okay? And it is one of the first characteristics that you really want to determine when you work with soil, okay? So a commonly used classification scheme is presented here that is used to determine whether the particle is clay, silt, or sand or gravel. Okay, so it says when the particles are less than 2 microns, they are clay. When they are equal or larger than 2 microns, but less than 50 microns, they are silt. And when they are equal or larger than 50 micron, but less than 2 millimeter or 2000 micron, they are sand. And when they are equal or larger than 2 millimeter or 2000 micron, they are gravel. Okay, and when you know the fraction of the sand, silt, and clay particles in your soil sample, then you can use the soil texture triangle to determine the texture of your soil. Okay, the USDA classification scheme uses textural triangle to classify soil, and this is used in this course. Okay, so basically I have an example in next slide, so you will see how to work with this triangle. But simply it is basically one side is the silt fraction, the other side is sand fraction, and the other one is the clay fraction. And depending on the fraction of each of these sand, silt, or clay in your soil sample, then you can calculate or you can estimate, determine the texture of your soil. Okay, also there is this very useful online tool, I put the link here, that you can use to basically work with this triangle and calculate basically the texture of the soil on the different fraction of this silt, sand, and clay. It's very easy to use, so you may want to try that. Okay, so as mentioned, when the textural fractions of sand, silt, and clay are determined, then the USDA texture triangle is used to determine the soil texture class. So let's solve an example. So for example, what is the texture class of a soil sample with 7% sand and 61% clay? So this is sand. So this is 7% sand here. Okay, that is this point. And then you have 61% clay, and that is this point. Okay, so if you draw a line here, the red line, parallel to the silt side, and then if you draw a line here parallel to the sand side, that is the black line, the intersection between this red line and the black line here, that gives that determines the texture of your soil. So since this intersection is located in the clay part, in the part that is called clay, so the texture of this soil is considered as clay. Okay, so that's just a simple example, but as I mentioned, in this link you can solve many more examples by yourself. Okay. So let me here just give you the very short review. So basically, in the previous lecture, we discussed about particle size distribution. So there are different methods you can calculate the particle size distribution of your soil. Okay, and then you use this definition here, this classification here, because now you have the particle size, the fraction of each size basically. So then you can determine the fraction of the clay, silt, and sand in your, or gravel in your soil sample. Okay, based on the particle size that you determine, let's say by sieving method or any other method. Okay, so now you have the fraction. When you have the fraction, then you go through this soil texture triangle and determine the texture of your soil. That could be clay, clay loam, silt loam, and so on. Okay, so that's the way you determine the texture of the soil. Okay, so the second concept I wanted to cover in this video is the specific surface area. So the specific surface area of the particles may be defined in two different ways. I mean, they're related to each other. The first one is the total surface area, AS, per unit of mass of particles. So that is represented by A, that is the lowercase SM. Okay, a specific surface area. M here stands for the mass of the particle, per unit of mass of the particle is equal to AS. That is the total surface area divided by MS. That is the mass of the particle. And the unit will be equal to meter square divided by kilogram. Okay, also you can determine the specific area based on the volume-based basic volume-based specific surface area, that is defined as AS, that is the total surface area, AS, divided by volume of the particle, Vs, okay, and that is represented by SV, okay, and V here refers to the volume-based definition of the specific surface area, okay. So a specific surface area depends primarily on size, shape, and surface roughness of the particle. Okay, so why do we need to know about the specific surface area? In fact, a large fraction of the specific surface area per unit volume in soil results in enhanced liquid-solid interactions, right? And absorption of water and chemicals. Because when you have a large specific surface area, therefore you have more surface for reactions, right? And or solid fluid interactions. So therefore, it's important to know, to have a clear idea or understanding of the specific surface area of your sample. And generally, the clay fractions, you will see in next slide why actually that's the case, in the next 1-2 slides, that the clay fractions in the soil sample is the one that determines the specific surface area. So here you see that a sand pack and a clay, basically a picture of the clay, that is our own, both actually our own research results. One was published in 2010 in Physical Review E, the other one in 2014, where we are looking into the clay. We were investigating the drawing from clay type material, from clay, and the paper was published in Water Resources Research in 2014, and you see the shape of the particles are very different, okay? And when you compare sand and clay, okay, and there you will see now in the next 1-2 slides that this will significantly affect the specific surface area of sand versus clay. Okay, so let's calculate the specific surface area of spherical particles, and this is an example of the spherical particle. That is a pack of glass beads. That's again our own research results published in Water Resources Research in 2014. I believe we were looking into the salt precipitation as a function of the roughness of the particle and pore morphology, basically. And you see here is not such a bad assumption if we assume these glass beads are spherical glass beads, okay? Also, the sand particle, although they are irregularly shaped particle, it's not such a bad assumption if you assume they are a spherical particle, okay? So let's calculate the specific surface area of a spherical particle. Here we are calculating the mass-based spherical, the mass-based specific surface area. Okay, that is ASM equal to AS divided by MS. You already have this equation. AS divided by, instead of MS, I write rho S, that is density times the volume. And then the area of the sphere, as you know, it's equal to 4 pi r squared divided by rho s is here, and the volume of the sphere is equal to 4/3 times pi r with the power of 3. Okay, and if you do the little algebra here, then you can rewrite this equation as ASM is equal to 3 divided by rho s times r, which is the radius of your particle. As you can see here, the specific surface area has an inverse relationship with the radius. Okay, when you're dealing with the spherical particle. Okay, so now let's calculate the specific surface area of clay type particle. Okay, the shape of clay particles is commonly idealized with smooth discs with a specific surface area given as. So we will calculate in a second. But when you look at this picture, this is actually the picture of the clay. We took this picture using SEM, scanning electron microscopy technique, that you see here. When you look at the particle from side, so it's not such a bad assumption if we assume these particles are like a disc type particle, okay, with the diameter of 2r and the thickness of x, while the 2r is significantly higher than x. And you see here, this is, for example, the diameter, right? This is the diameter, but the thickness you see here, they're much thinner than the diameter. Okay, so ASM is equal to AS divided by MS. So in terms of the area here, total surface area, if you remember, is equal to, you have two base here, that is one, that is pi r2, there is one at the bottom as well, so that will be 2 pi r2 plus this lateral area. Okay, and the lateral area of this cylinder is equal to 2 pi r, that is the perimeter, times x, that is the height, okay? Divided by the mass of this particle, and the mass is equal to rho times v. Rho is rho s, the density of the particle, times v, the volume of this cylinder, that is pi r2, that is the area here, times x, which is the height, okay? And then you can factor 2 pi r here, that will be r plus x divided by pi r square x rho s, okay? And then this pi is out here, one of this r is out here, so you end up with 2 times r plus x divided by r x rho s, okay? Remember, we assume here the x is significantly less than r, and you see as well in this picture as well, when we compare, the thickness is much thinner than the, much smaller than the diameter here. So you can ignore, you can neglect basically this x compared to the value of r. Okay, do you understand what I mean? Let's say r is 100, and x is like 0.1, for example, right? So then 100 plus 0.1 is 100.1. So it's not such a bad assumption if you say, okay, it's you round it to 100. Okay, so if you neglect this term, then you can drop basically this r by this one. Therefore, ASM will be equal to 2 divided by x rho s. Okay, and now you see why the specific surface area of clay is significantly more than sand, because here the specific surface area is independent of the particle diameter, but it depends on inversely basically proportional to the thickness of the particle. X is here, and since x is significantly less than the r, the diameter, so normally you get much larger value when you, for example, compare it with the spherical sand grain, where the particles are in the order of micron, right? While here it can easily go to nanometer, and so the specific surface area for clay particle can be several order of magnitudes more than sand particle. And this is a table that give you like a typical values. Of course, they are average values, they're typical values, just to give you an idea about the numbers here. So they calculated the specific surface areas for idealized soil particles. So gravel, sand, silt, you see, for all of them, you can kind of assume they are spherical, and then you can use the equation that was given in the previous slides. And for the clay type particle, that's you assume it's kind of disc-shaped particle. And when you do the mass or use the equations that we derived in the previous slide, you see here the specific surface area of the clay is like a couple of order of magnitude more than sand and gravel and silt. And that's why this basically, the fraction of the clay dominate the specific surface area of your soil. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you.